just cork, or the vinyl ones, or you can splurge on these. I think these were chrome. They're like $4 a piece or something like that. They have some that are stainless. They're a little bit more expensive, you know, $5, $6 or something like that. And then Ruth Nile makes some, and some of hers actually have a flat bottom to them, so they can actually stand up. And I think hers they're not much more expensive than, you know, they're like $6 or something like that. But you can get them through Craft Supplies. I think carries Ruth Niles. Yeah, you can go straight to her website too. But there's different styles to these. You can get ones that are just basically cones, straight down. These I think are called teardrop ones. They were the cheapest. So, and I had like $20 worth of Craft Supply gift certificates. So, what you got to use, and I think all the bottle stoppers that are threaded on are all pretty much the same. As far as I could see, they all had the same threads on it, and it's basically a 3/8 by 16, which is just a regular 3/8 inch bolt. You can buy a mandrel from Craft Supplies to turn these with for like $8, or you can do it the cheap way like I did. Go to a hardware store, buy a 3/8 bolt, and cut the head off of it, and then buy a nut. So I got like less than $1 in the mandrel. If you want to spend the $7 for a mandrel, go right ahead. Not going to tell you not to, but you know, if you're going to do that, I got some swamp land in Arizona too to sell. Basically, all I did, and the piece of wood on here, I just threw a chunk of wood on it and then turned it down to the same diameter as the end of the bottle stopper. So it gives me a reference point to bring the end of the bottle stopper down to. And basically it was just a piece of wood. And I drilled a hole the same size I did with the drill bit in the tap, and then just screwed the piece of wood on there. I think I got the drill bit and taps up at Home Depot for like $6. Comes with the drill bit and the tap all together. I'm not going to show you how to drill a piece of plastic. If you got a question on how to drill, talk to me later. But basically, to tap it, get it started, crescent wrench. It's 3/8 by 16.
And what size hole do you drill for that?
It comes with the drill bit. It's 5/16. That's why I just bought the whole thing. Usually if you buy taps in a pack, they come with the drill bit with it. Make sure I bottom it all the way down. This one's plenty deep enough. Basically, and you do the same thing with wood if you want to make them out of wood. You're just tapping them. And then you can just chuck it right up on here. All right. And I will use a live center just till I get the ends knocked off of it, or the corners knocked off of it. Once I get the corners knocked off of it and get it round, you really don't need the tailstock up on it. That's pretty good. That'll work. Take these goofy things off so I can see. And basically I'm just using one of my small bowl gouges, but you can use a roughing gouge or a carbide tip, anything just to get it round. These I knew had sharp edges to them, so we're going to just use these. And acrylic does stink when you turn it. Yeah, we're almost round. And for those of you that haven't turned acrylic yet, you'll understand why some people don't like turning acrylic here real quick. Sharper your tool is when you're cutting acrylic, you won't have to sand as much. Now I got the points knocked off of it. Let's speed her up here. And that's the reason some people don't like cutting acrylic. You get a just big old bird's nest that you got to peel off all the time. And basically I'm going to do the same shape I had with that other one. It's just going to cone down, and then on the top of it, it's going to just round off. Now you can do like the one, I have seen them where they'll put a recess in the top of it, and they'll put like a coin or something like that in it, and recess that into the top of it. You can do anything you want with them. You can make them any design, doesn't matter. There's no right way or wrong way to do a bottle stopper. I think we got it good enough. We can take the tailstock out of the way now.
Probably something to do with that stuff.
Easter grass.
Yeah, Easter grass, yeah.
Basically, that's probably how they make it.
Melted over in something.
Yeah, getting a little bit of vibration on it. I'm gonna put the tailstock back up on it. That hum we were getting off of it, it's just harmonics. It just gives you more problems. Just got to sand a little bit more. Like I said, you can do any design you want. I'm just doing a taper. Basically, show you how to cut acrylic and then how to finish it. And finishing it, you can get pretty smooth cuts on it like I'm getting now. We won't have a lot of sanding. I mean, I'll probably go through all the grits and get it shiny again in less than 10 minutes. There we go. See if we can do one nice pull cut real quick on it. That's pretty smooth now. See if we can get to the end of it. We won't have too much sanding on it. Stuff gets everywhere. Basically, I'm just kind of doming the top a little bit. But like I said, you can recess a cavity in it, and you can put a coin or anything else you want to do to them. They won't look bad. We'll go with that. Basically, at this point, I got my shape. Now it's just go through the finishing of it, sanding of it. Yeah, that's what it's all.
Is there some kind of metal piece you could put there where your wooden thing is that's on your mantle?
Yeah, well, that's, like I said, the ones that you can buy for $7, $8, they have a piece there. I just didn't feel like spending $7 for a mandrel because I'm not probably going to turn a lot of bottle stoppers. And you could use a couple washers if you could find washers the right size and just put them up there, or find yourself a thicker piece of, whatever. I just used wood. I figure, if it gets trimmed down, just make another one. I'm going to put the towel up here just so when I start the wet sanding, we're not getting rust spots on the lathe bed. And if you guys were here last month, I do not hand sand. I power sand on everything. Oh yeah. That's why I said I can go through the grits on this and sand in less than probably 10, 15 minutes.
Keith, quick question.
Yep.
Have you ever tried just strictly using the wet pads, not sanding it at all?
I don't get a good enough. I'm not that good on my cuts. If you come up here and feel this, there's a lot of grooves in it. I could spend another 10 minutes trying to get it nice and smooth.
You know what you might try, just as, I know you're not going to do very many, a scraper.
Yeah. I could spend 10 minutes and try to get it smooth, or I can spend 30 seconds with sandpaper, which,
Is it cutting tool?
and if anybody wants to watch the clock, this is how fast it's going to go. All right.
All righty, guys.
There we go. 80 grit.
80 grit.
We're gonna go 100 grit. And on something this small, that's all it's gonna take.
What grit was that now?
120, 180. Basically, right now it's smooth. I'm just getting smaller and smaller progressions of sanding marks in it. All I'm doing right now is removing bigger ones and putting smaller ones in, and you're just progressively getting smaller scratches in.
As you're power sanding, I know whenever I sand, I go around, it goes around the circle, I stop, and then I go the other direction. When you power sand, you don't have to do that.
No. Just about that, you can go through the grit. $220. Change my box. And on these, I'm not even, wearing them down, so I'm just going. That was 400. $800. And basically, at that point, I'm pretty much done power sanding. I said I don't hand sand anymore, but with the wet ones, I do hand sand because else you start slinging a lot of water all over the place. But if you can see it, it's smooth. It just has some real fine scratches in it right now. And at that point, you go with the wet. And this is the package it came in. It starts off at, you can see it, 15, 18, 24, 32, 36, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, and 12,000 grit. They're different colors. I made it easy. I took mine, and on the back side of them, I just wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can just throw them in the water and know which grit I need to go to next. You want these really wet. You don't want to let them dry out. And you can see the water slinging off of it. That's why I don't power sand with whether I tried it. You get water everywhere. That was number 1. This is 2. And I'll stop it here. You can see how it's looking already. I mean, it's fairly, most of the scratches are all out of it already. That's 2, 3. And we're running early tonight, so I do have another block if somebody wants to come up and try turning one. I got another block here that we can stay around another 20 minutes or so. Somebody else? 3, there's 4. There's 4. Now you know why I put the towel down. If not, you'll have rust stains or rust marks on your ways the next morning.
Could you slow down your leg?
Yeah, it's not, I'm not running really fast on it. When I'm doing this at home, I got the digital readout. I'm doing these at about 300, 400. This is probably running a little bit fast, but it's working. 6, 7. The first couple times I use these pads, I kept having to look back at the thing for the color chart. And it just makes it easy if you just mark the back of it. And these, I mean, you can come up and feel these. They almost feel like, once you get up to the higher grits, almost feels like paper to start with. And last one. And pretty much all the scratches are out of it. And then I'll use the Ultra Shine. It's basically a rubbing compound. Shake it up a little bit. This is a piece of cloth. I get them from work. They're what we clean glass from some of the old cameras, microfilming cameras and stuff. One of the sites had a whole bunch of them they were getting rid of, so I said, hey, we had a great use for those. But you could use a piece of paper or something like that, paper towel or something like that too.
You could tell might be part of the stuff.
This stuff, the reason why I use them is because they were designed to clean glass on microfilmers and not scratch the glass, so.
Good job.
That's all there is to do on acrylic.